Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here for episode 2. My name is Juan. This is Herman. Last time we left off, or let's just do a recap of what we talked about last time.
Okay.
We Herman did a bat design, and I used his design to make a ring, basically a head of a bat on a ring. And then he tried it out, and then he got inspired by some other artwork, and we went a completely different way. And you went to town with this. You got really inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
You made a couple of designs. We still went with the bat theme, but I guess it's a more Mesoamerican style now.
Yeah. So I just first ring that he made, I totally hated it, burned it. Don't ever want to see it again. And I said, we're starting over. No, like it was cool, but I thought to myself, if I'm gonna wear a ring, I want to wear something like, damn, it's like. I want to make something new, basically. Like it was a new opportunity for us to create something, and something that I thought like we could kind of push the boundaries on what we're doing. And yeah, definitely been inspired by some like indigenous art from the Americas and the Caribbean and stuff like that. So I was like, damn, I want to make something for myself like that, just so I can have a fat little like flagrant piece on my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what we've been working on. This is what we got right now.
Yeah. So, it was a really cool style where, the Mesoamerican style is very, I don't know, how would you describe it as an art style?
There's a lot of cool shapes. And there's like a lot
big
of
shapes,
like
a lot of big shapes.
They made
round shapes, I guess.
Round, square, anything that would basically go into a rock.
Yeah, a lot of
right, like a lot of it was carved stonework and stuff like that.
Or pictograph, I guess you can. No, I don't know.
Yeah, the petroglyphs.
I think that counts as like paintings on them too, though.
Yeah, but it's like it's in a similar style. I think like you look at it. I don't know. When I look at it, you see something similar. And I've been looking at like a bunch of it for references and stuff like that. And like the petroglyphs are basically like the original graphic design, if you think about it. Like they express or like ideas or mainly symbols in the beginning, and then later it got more intricate and stuff like that. But from the symbols and stuff, like you can see how they cut it out, like into the stone to replicate that kind of stuff. So it will give you some like rough edges, and some of the shapes aren't always like the exact same shape, but it's that shape. So I thought, I like that stuff, but my style has to be like.
Well, you have a lot of contrast in your work.
Yeah.
Where it's like, graphic design, there's that contrast where you got sharp lines, sharp edges, and then, which it translates to the style you're replicating, because big shapes, solid lines, and it kind of translates to jewelry too, because something that's small needs to pop, and then that style works.
Well, that's when we decided to recreate this ring. It was like after the first ring, all the little line work that I see, like even in this design, there's a lot of like little lines. I have like two or three layers of colors and stuff like that, with a lot of line work. That doesn't translate that well into a ring, so I decided like,
that's too much detail for something so small.
Exactly,
you lose the detail.
So with these ones, and he'll be showing the photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With these ones that we made, I said, well, I can make bigger shapes and create more like gaps in there, so that I started now thinking about it in the second ring, like how would this actually look on a ring, like in that 3D space after looking at the first one.
You actually made a 3D model of it too.
I made a 3D model in Blender.
Which was actually what I was impressed by.
Well, I couldn't replicate it. It was like a one-time thing, but
it was like a fluke.
It was straight up fluke. But that kind of gave me like the idea. It gave me a better representation for my following sketches and drawings. Because now I'm into 3 sketches and stuff like that. We're gonna be working on another 2, so five total that are coming just from this ring. Like from our experiment with the first one and now the second one. This one gave me a clearer direction on what I wanted out of the ring.
You ran with this where, you made this design, and then in that design you had like two other faces with it. And you're just having fun with it, and you're just like, oh, I like these shapes, I'm going to make...
I really like the shapes is what it came out to.
And then like 2 days later, he's like, hey, I got a new design. It was like, and this is a more complex with a face. And I'm like, I'm not even done with the first one yet. But I was like, cool, run with it. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm excited for those too, because
I'm like, okay, these are gonna be a little trickier. It's a little more sculpting.
Tricky.
Because with Herman's design, we'll show. It's a stencil basically. You know, just solid shapes.
Yeah.
And the way I made the ring was I basically used this design, turned it into a stencil, and then just extruded that shape out. Which you know, there I got a good foundation base, and off of that I built the ring. His next couple of designs, they're more faces basically.
They're straight up faces.
Yeah.
Well, they are faces, but then also like I've taken some of like the shape work, and they're not like full on faces. They're kind of inside of a helmet. So there's still there. I'm keeping part of like the stencil aspect, but also trying to bring out some of the faces. And that's kind of been tricky for me too, like blending that. I don't know why I kind of ran with the helmet, but I always thought like warriors.
What's the warrior? Yeah, warrior class.
Warriors. So like, you know, I know the indigenous warriors didn't wear helmets and stuff like that.
No, but you're a fighter.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of headgear. You know, when you spar, you got to put on your headgear to protect your face and your nose. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then for just the metal pieces, a lot of times they do have headdresses though. Like the rings that I've seen, it's always like a headdress, which is cool. I like that, but I just kind of wanted to take our make it almost look like superheroes, kind of like, you know, warriors. So that's why I decided, all right, all of them are gonna have this helmet shape. So I hope it's not as difficult as what I'm saying for when it comes down.
Well,
to
I see it as a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, faces are difficult. Let's just Any artist will tell you faces are difficult. You know, it goes hands, feet, faces.
Yeah.
You know, so, but at the same time, I'm like. This is one of those things where like, hey, you're gonna it's gonna make you a better artist to go after this.
I think so. I think so.
And I'm like, that's always the goal, right? I was like, let's keep pushing.
Yeah, that's why I said like let's redesign. Let's see if we're gonna make a ring. Let's redesign it and run with it. Because the first one was like we talked about, like proof of concept. Like you were definitely able. Like I was very impressed with that. That was a surprise to me. I didn't know he was gonna do that. You just took that and ran that. That on your own, and I was like, oh, so we're doing this. I was like, okay, bet. Like, let me do something cool then.
Little step back here. Herman basically said, hey, I kind of want to make a ring, and my first thought was like, how do you make a ring? I know there's a video out somewhere, but I was like, I never looked at it. So, you know, did a little research, and then I found a couple basically just defaults in there, and I'm like, okay, let me just go with this. Let me try to put some artwork on it and print it. And I did it with my filament printer, which, you know, I wasn't expecting to have a good design, but, you know, here we go. Let's see if we can actually, from start to finish, make a prototype, essentially.
That's all it was. And that was really cool. And I was like, damn.
Oh, so this is possible. That's basically one of my...
Basically. That's what it showed me, too, because once I saw that, I was like, oh, damn, we're going to make some cool stuff. And that's when I was like, all right, let me make the ring that I want to be wearing all the time. And I think this ring, now we have the sides on this ring.
Yes, we also did some, Herman did some like line work shapes with his logo on the side. Yeah. And I was able to get it wrapped around almost to the back here.
Yep.
You know, this print came out, basically this last print showed me it's too shallow. So we got to go a little deeper in here. So it comes out, you know, you want to see that logo. I want that logo to pop, you know.
Same.
So, but that's part of the process, you know. And then I went in knowing that you lose quality when you print. So it's like,
crazy.
You know, that's, you know, it's kind of like okay, here's step 1, step 2, step 3. Oh, step 3 showed me this. We got to go back to step 2, and you know.
Yeah, I hope you show photos of like the different test prints of this.
Sure, we can do that.
So you can see like how
progression
like,
of it.
The progression, like the angle changes, because it's not like you think it's just like, oh, he's just gonna print it and it's gonna come out clean. No, like you gotta change your angles on it, right? You have to because that affects the quality of the print.
So what I learned with this printer is basically the orientation you have it in. It's gonna put support material, and that support material can ruin. Well, it cuts into the artwork of it, you know, and then when you cut it off, it leaves a little bit. So it more work down the line cleaning it too. Right. So, you know, there's give and take here, and then just there's a sweet spot for it, I think. Yeah,
and that takes the test prints.
Yeah,
I've realized that's kind of cool. And then we also kind of not redesign, but we some design adjustments, because when he was first working on it. it's always kind of hard to explain what you want from 2D to 3D,
Yeah.
like filling in that gap. That's why I was trying to learn Blender. I'm still trying to learn that stuff, like learning some 3D stuff so that I can communicate more of what I want from my 2D design. And he's got it. Like he brought it out. He added some of his own flair to it, which I'm perfectly like happy with because he's the dude for that. And the ring looks really nice. The ring is going to come out really cool.
Yeah. And so we got the design done. I guess the next step is basically actually making the actual ring.
So now we got to do the wax resin, right?
Yeah.
The different kind of resin, and that's important because we need that for casting. We can't cast with this, right?
I don't think so. Well, you can probably make it out of this, maybe. But what the process we're talking about here is they sell resin that's for casting. So you know, my understanding is that you make a wax mold of whatever you're gonna make, and then you pour the metal into that mold, and then it melts away the wax, and then replaces.
Oh, it melted away.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it destroys it. You know, it destroys.
We had to have a new mold every. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what the wax or melt away process. I don't know what it's called, but
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so ignorant when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I'm still stuck on the on step 2, and that's like step 4.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
I don't know. It's so like a lot of times it was just like a one-shot deal. If you mess it up, you have to start over. With this, we can just reprint them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know.
That's my understanding of it.
But once you have then once you have the cast, the mold, then you use that over and over and over and over.
I think you do it with sand. So or no, they use like a plaster or something.
So the next video, hopefully we know what the hell we're doing.
You break
on the next
it.
one.
Yeah. Okay. So next time we're gonna have Jay
explaining this process.
Who works with basically makes jewelry.
He's gonna help us make this ring. He's the next step.
Yeah. Because that's our insight there for that guy. And he's into 3D printing too, so he knows that stuff too. Yeah. I mean, is there anything else to cover here?
These are going to be for sale at some point. A few of them. We're going to make them in what? We're going to make them in silver.
Yeah.
We're going to work on a hollowed out version too, because that's like.
Well, I mean, it's just that we're going to see which one comes out better. You know.
So
we're going to make both. We're still learning. We're experimenting here.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get a gold one. Most likely gold plated. Maybe full, maybe solid gold. That'll be mine. Just kidding.
You got to floss.
Just lay my arm down,
Just be like, I can't lift up my arm.
Can't lift it because I got this beautiful ring on my hand made of solid gold. That's about it, I think. Thank you guys for tuning in to the second episode, and hopefully we'll have our updates, and maybe you'll see the actual ring on this next video. I hope. Yeah, well, that's we gotta do our we can't rush it. The idea is done at this point. Now it's actually making the actual product. Damn. That's exciting. Which this was fast for me. I was like, yeah, you killed it. From the but just even from going from like concept, we did a complete turnaround, and it basically did it in the same time frame too, which was like okay. I mean, it was fun. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Subscribe, follow, like. Appreciate it. Catch me on The Art of Juan C on Instagram. And at the Union Designs. Thank you guys.